with Pete or Kim, right? All right. From Data Grid, Lewis is from Dynatrace. Um, all right. We have 26 attendees. Do two things. Please answer the three-question poll. And then let us know where you're calling in from. Carter, Lewis, Marquise, Nelson, Nelson Rivera, Pavika. Please let us know where you're calling in from and answer the poll. Let me see how many answer I have from the poll. Um, so I have 21 out of 26 people who answered the poll. So I still need 5 people to go down to the poll and quizzes in the bottom and answer the poll. Yeah, we're gonna start soon. And also, one thing, I have a surprise for you at the end. Not a surprise, but a cool thing I want to show you. A cool project that we're working on at Yellowtail.tech, but it's gonna be completely at the end. So stay until the end, and I'm gonna give you a little demo. But I have a few people who have not answered the poll, so go ahead and do that. Um, yeah. So let me start sharing my screen. Put 1 second. Slideshow. Put a 1 in the chat if you can properly see my screen. All right, I see a lot of 1. Let's do it. So let me go back to the first. Welcome everyone. Today is a very special and laid back day. We're gonna have an open house. This is an occasion to answer your question, to hang out with you, to introduce you to Yellowtail, and for students to just reintroduce themselves to Yellowtail, and for prospects to have asked their questions, to understand what Yellowtail is all about, understand the process, and still consider if Yellowtail is the right fit for them. We have 23 people who actually answered the poll, 23 out of 26. So I have 3 more people I'd like to them to go to the bottom of their Zoom screen and look for polls and quizzes and answer the quiz, please. So let's start. So it's gonna be an hour. I'm gonna introduce the company a little bit, and then we're gonna have a chance to have a chat with Alex and Murundi. Alex is currently in the process. He already passed his cert. He's in the apprenticeship, and Murudi is already working in the industry. So you're gonna have. I always try to have 2 perspectives when I do the open house. One person already in the job market, and one person in the process. So a few things. As I introduced the company, we launched this company in 2016. But when we launched it, it was really helping friends and family. It took us really uh, um, two years. So basically, it was launched in 2014, but we actually showed up in the marketplace in 2016 properly. We offer 2 programs between 6 and 9 months. We are an official training partner, an AWS training partner, and we specialize specifically in helping people with no IT background and technical degree get their first high-paying IT job. So that's what we do. That's what we optimize for every day, and that's the group of people we cater to. And don't forget, guys, if you still till the end, I'll demo something I'm sure you will enjoy checking out. All right, so stay till the end to ask your questions and also to hang out with Alex and Maridi. So a little bit about myself. My name is Juby Vilcius. I'm sure you've seen at least one video of me on social media or LinkedIn. I am the co-founder at yellowtail.tech. I'm responsible for student outcome. Furthermore, I have a degree in management information systems. So what I'm doing here is exactly what I went to school to learn how to do, which is manage businesses that are deliver technology, which is what I do here. And I also am a Red Hat certified system administrator, so I drink my own Kool-Aid. So our two programs are Linux for Jobs and Cloud for Jobs. Like I said, we are an AWS official partner, training partner. Our AWS for Jobs is usually where people start for the simple reason that AWS for Jobs is not only an easier way to break into the industry, but it's a stepping stone for cloud in general. Rudy will tell you, despite that he's in cloud, uh, it's important to understand infrastructure, to understand Linux to do your job. So we do have two programs, but 80% or more of our students start at Linux for Jobs. We have many accolades. We just been nominated last week by SwitchUp as being one of the best boot camp of the year. We ranked at number 13, which is a new and a very interesting announcement. We've been awarded Inc. 5000. We've been nominated in the Inc. 5000 last year as number 452. So basically, we are part of the fastest growing company in the US. And we also made the list in this year as well, but a little higher at number 545. In fact, next week, I'm heading to California to hang out with all the other awardees and take part of it and have some conferences with them. So I look forward to that. So basically, what definitely puts us apart is not only we focus on people with absolutely no IT background, is our commitment to relentless career support. Because I've been to college and I felt after I completed my studies, I didn't feel that relentless support I was hoping to get. Meaning they had a job office or whatever they call it, but basically, you go there, you talk to someone. If you insist, they help you with your resume vaguely. They point you to a few jobs that you should consider applying. No one is following up with you. It was very vague and very very it lacked intention. So when I started Yellowtail Tech, I said I'm gonna do exactly the opposite of that, of the experience I had in college. I'm gonna offer relentless career support. I'm gonna offer you the career support until you get the job. And that's with resume writing, LinkedIn optimization, follow-up, mentorship, mock interviews, job search optimization, everything I know and I'm convinced that you need to actually make this thing work. Because training, believe it or not, we are not in the business of training. We are in the business of helping people get jobs. It just happened that training is part of it. The real work actually starts after the training. When you get invited into the apprenticeship, when you're actually doing the work, you're resolving project on your own. When you are actually showing up to interviews, and each interview is different from the next because the reality is the training itself is very choreographed. You show up, There is a set of modules and objective to learn. You learn it, and then you go and pass the certification. Although it's one of the most difficult certification to pass, our passing rate is through the roof because we figured it out. But this is, believe it or not, it's not the training, it's not passing the certification, it's the commitment you bring, the intention you bring to the career success portion, the intention you bring to your resume, the intention you bring to actually not only resolving those projects and tickets you get assigned to doing the apprenticeship, but understanding, being committed to understanding and being able to articulate what it is you're delivering. Okay. So that's why we focus on relentless career support. And not only that, we also focus on job optimization because before we had this platform, it's a customized platform to help you track your jobs, follow up with your jobs, keep them in a place where they are manageable. We used to do this on a spreadsheet. So now we have a platform that helps you do the follow-up, that's AI integrated, that helps you customize each cover letter, that helps you stay on top of all follow-ups, that should help you stay on top of which job makes sense, which job to apply to. So our job search optimization is definitely to the next level. You also have an activity dashboard that's part of the platform that actually gives you insight that a spreadsheet will never be able to give you. So basically, it tells you how you're doing in your job search, because job search is very much, I want to say, the most difficult part of the process and the most time-consuming part. So you have to look at the data, understand how many jobs you're applying a week, how many jobs are responding to you, and all this data is available to you for you to not only see, but for your career success coach to actually look with you and help you optimize your job search. You're gonna get to meet with your career success coach every 2 weeks to look at how you're doing in your job search and optimize the process. We also have a mentorship program where if you want, you can be paired with other alumni that just got a job that can help you with what they've learned, help you with not only what they've learned in the process, but keep you motivated, give you the latest tricks they use to actually get their job. Okay. So same thing, job curation. We never claim it was our job to go look for a job on your behalf, but we'd help you do that work. We have a team that is curating jobs, looking for jobs on your behalf and putting it on the portal for whoever wants to apply to do that. So it's just our way to put more opportunities in front of you so the process can be a little more streamlined. So these are the highlights of what I wanted to talk about and about the program. The other portions, I'm sure you've made your research or you already know about it. So the next best thing I've always figured is to actually talk to someone who went through the process and someone who is in the process about how is the process. So what we're going to do is welcome Alex and Murudi. Alex is a current student at yellowtail.tech, and Murudi is an alumni, an alumnus of yellowtail.tech. So welcome, Alex. Welcome, Murudi. If you don't mind turning on your camera. And let's start that conversation. So before we start, I see there is 33 attendees. I also see that there's only 26 people who answered the poll. So we have about 6 more people that did not take a few minutes to answer the poll. So go ahead and do that. Hover at the bottom um, of your Zoom page. You're gonna see polls and quizzes, and go ahead and answer the quiz. It's a 3-question quiz, basically, to let us know who attended today. And yeah, and in the chat, while we are communicating, start dropping in your questions. And then as I have a chat with Alex and Maruti, I'm going to look at in the chat to see what questions we can address for you. So welcome, Alex. Welcome, Maruti. So it's going to be very laid back today. And even you, Maruti, and Alex, you're going to enjoy the surprise I have at the end. You're going to say, you're going to be upset that you didn't have that when you were in the training part of the process. But stay tuned. But welcome, Alex. Tell me. Oh, I have one last thing I want to say. Today, we were supposed to have another student. Unfortunately, he is in Florida and he got hit by the hurricane. So our heart goes to Ralph Quick, who was supposed to be with us today. Hopefully he's safe and we'll see him soon. So Alex, talk to me. How are you doing? You're on mute, by the way. How are you
Thank you,
doing?
Juby.
Um, Welcome. Talk to us. Tell us about yourself. I know you are in education. Tell us, how you decided to break into to start your journey into the industry. Tell us why you chose yellowtail.tech and tell us however much you want about your journey. It's an open question. Let's start a conversation.
All right. Well, thank you for the introduction, Juby. So, hello, everybody. My name is Alex Rincon, and I'm currently a special education teacher at a high school. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I'm on my way to becoming a Linux system administrator. So,
Yeah.
as a, yeah, exciting. It's definitely exciting. Um, as of right now, I'm currently in the apprenticeship phase. So, I have passed my RHCSA, the Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator test, and it really was an awesome journey to go through. It was um, a lot, but for good reasons. So as of right now, I'm currently solving tickets, and it really does feel like a real world setting. So I appreciate that, Mr. Juby and yellowtail.tech for that. But how I got into wanting to break into tech, well, it wasn't an overnight thing. I initially planned to get into federal law enforcement. So I still had transitioning into a different career in mind. But along the way, I really became more curious about cybersecurity. And the more I learned about it, the more I realized that cybersecurity, it's all about having multiple tools in your toolkit. Uh, but I started hearing about how important having a strong foundation was. And that strong foundation involves Linux. Linux is in, if not all, it's in the majority of job postings. So I started learning a little bit more about what Linux really is and how I can learn Linux. There's a bunch of self-taught stuff out there, but although I'm capable of self-teaching myself, I really wanted to be part of a learning community. So I think education's very important, and I do take it very seriously. So I really want to look for a program that really taught me Linux, as opposed to me just cracking open a book and then taking all these certifications. So
Yeah.
from there, I did discover Yellowtail, Linux for Jobs through YouTube influencers. And after doing my
Really?
research, correct, yes. And
Which
those,
one? Which
at
one?
least the top three got to be Teon Tech, um, Tech is the New Black, Cyrus, and
Okay.
The third one is Simone Bees. So
Okay,
I
okay.
I actually still remember I would be in the gym and walking on the treadmill or doing a warm up, and I just start watching all these videos on interviews of you guys and testimonies, and it'd be like 2 hours into the workout, and we're already leaving home, and I'm still watching all these testimonies, and that'd be my gym music. So it's pretty funny being in this stage now talking about it, but I did learn
Okay,
about Linux for Jobs from there, and
good stuff. So basically,
yeah,
you learn about yellowtail.tech through influencers, but you already knew you wanted to consider Linux already. Is that the case?
that is correct. And after doing my research on Yellowtail, I saw how there's a big sense of community and a family-like feel to your program. So it's not only about just getting a certification and moving on, it's about networking and
Yes.
pretty much making these lifelong friends that I now have that I call family. And so the support really has been invaluable. And that really was what uh, was the cause for me jumping into Yellowtail. So since starting that, I knew I had a passion for this field, and Yellowtail really showed me that. So that's what I'm forever grateful for.
Let me ask you one question before I go to Marudi. Did you consider or go through any other training before Yellowtail Tech once you decided to transition?
Yes, sir. Actually, I started the Google cybersecurity professional certification on Coursera, and of the influencers I had encountered, they preached about understanding networking as well, having a solid foundation of that, as well as Linux. And um, so Coursera, it actually was free for me because I'm an alumni for my university. So we had a free, subscription for a bit. And so I decided, well, since I'm interested in cybersecurity, there's this Google Cyber Cert program that's in there. But when I was in it, I really, well, I felt like I was grasping the material, but I didn't, I wasn't too invested in the self-taught side of
Mm-hmm.
it. So that's really what deterred me from continuing it. And I just fell into Yellowtail, right? And I just moved on from there.
Yeah, that's where we find ourselves. Actually, I wrote a little piece that I'm gonna publish later on LinkedIn about how we find ourselves as a company, as Yellowtail Tech, in between two types of programs. We are not self-taught like Coursera, but also we are not a boot camp because a boot camp implies being fast, being under 4 months, being rushed. We are not that. So literally, there is no category for us. Now, for the sake of recognition, we accept the boot camp recognition we get, but we are not that. So we fall in between two categories. But it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. But
Uh,
nonetheless, Murudi, welcome. Talk to me. How is it going? Tell me from the start, if you even remember, because now you're working, everything, is a blur for you. Tell me, how did you get into the industry? How did you stumble on Yellowtail Tech? And what are you doing now?
Hey guys, so yeah, my name is Maridi Jelani. I always had a passion for technology, and so I decided, hey, let me, you know, transition over. I was doing commercial HVAC, so when I was deciding to transition over to tech, like I think Alex just mentioned, everybody you hear about cybersecurity, cybersecurity. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is what I want to do. Then I have a cousin of mine, he's in tech, and he's like, I don't think you're gonna like cybersecurity. Looking at DevOps. So I looked into DevOps, I was like, yeah, being that I was a technician, I want to solve problems. That's what you're basically doing. So I did my research, found Yellowtail, and listening to Juby's videos, I was like, I like what he's saying. And what really drove me home to join Yellowtail was the foundation. I was like, I don't want to just like go through something and not have really good foundational knowledge. Because I see some people that are in tech, they don't really have that foundational knowledge. They just kind of been cruising through, made it and they're just doing, the things that they need to do to get their job done. But sometimes they're missing that foundational knowledge. And that foundational knowledge actually helps so that way in the future you can move on and do more. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and
go
not
ahead.
only foundational knowledge is important, but and of course you realize that we also realize that, and we are actually adding more. So now Security Plus is part of the program and it's required because we are realizing that this is what the marketplace is asking for. So yes, I believe in foundational, and I can call it not only foundational, but also contextual knowledge. Because when you learn Linux, you're not gonna be handed a box, a Linux, not a box. People won't get what that means. A Linux server, and for you to just be working directly on the server all day, every day. You're gonna be dealing with a lot of peripheral tools and technology. And people don't realize these are as important. And Alex will tell you, um, most of what he's doing is not directly or necessarily always Linux. It's about tools around the Linux operating system. So that's what a lot of people don't realize, or how they do realize it, but they don't understand how important it is. So we insist on it because if you don't do that, you might be lucky and get a job, but you might not be able to keep it because you lack the contextual and the foundational knowledge. So thanks for noticing that, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I was
but
actually gonna mention.
yeah,
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that, like the foundational knowledge, but as well, when I started looking for jobs, I saw on LinkedIn other people looking for jobs with more than one certification. So I knew, one certification is not gonna do it. So
yeah,
that's when I went, yeah, studied more and got multiple certifications actually before I got my job.
yeah. And also Security Plus, the reason why we specifically added Security Plus is because we realized that the marketplace, especially GovTech, has a bunch of jobs open, but people cannot go through it because they either don't have a security clearance, they don't even have the Security Plus. So it's a way to open up a whole different a segment of the marketplace for our students. So that's why we added Security Plus, because Security Plus is what I like to call a certification that's for administrative and technical reason, meaning, you learn some security concepts, although it's a very introductory certification, but a lot of government agencies, they require it as part of their hiring process. So having it opens up some other type of jobs for you. So tell me a little bit about your current job, Moody.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, once I got my job, I was started off as a associate cloud engineer, and it'll be 1 year on the 16th of this month. But I actually just I haven't talked to you guys for a little bit, so I know you haven't heard, but I just got a promotion, so I'm
Word.
not gonna yeah, so less than a year, so everybody was
Congrats,
surprised,
man.
but oh yeah, thank you. So I'm going to be a cloud deployment engineer now. So we're deploying environments for the clients that we have, and yeah, better pay as well. So yeah. It's
Definitely.
awesome.
But from the same company, you're just moving up, right?
Yes, yes. And within 1 year too.
That's good, man. That's good. Now, let's go to the chat. By the way, guys, please ask questions. I'm gonna come to them. Um, one question
Oh,
was, tell us about the interview process. People love this question. Marudi, since you've been through that, Alex, you are not there yet. Tell us, give us a glimpse of the interview process. Okay, let's narrow the question. The job you actually got. Walk us through the whole interview process from the time you applied to the time you started the job. Walk us through that particular process.
yeah, definitely. So, the way the process really worked was basically, after I finished my Yellowtail program, I was already ready for the interview. But as far as the interview process for the job, it started off with the recruiter first, just to kind of see, if you fit that role. Once that recruiter feels comfortable, like you're able to answer their questions, they move you on to the next phase, which is the technical interview. So that technical interview, that's your chance to shine. Because I remember, getting past the first hurdle, that was hard because, hey, they say you don't have experience. Like, well, I got 1 year in the internship, but just give me a chance and I'll show you I know it. So once I got into the technical interview, they asked me questions that I was like, this is very easy because when went through Yellowtail, I had all the knowledge, and being that it's basically like a starting level position, is like they're asking me, hey, how can you find memory in a system? Like, what commands do you run, or what's the service in AWS for DNS? So very simple questions, and oddly enough, they were surprised that I was able to answer it because they had other interviewers that they couldn't answer it. So yeah,
Yeah.
after that, it was just one more interview with my manager's manager, and
Was that one
just kind of see
technical?
if I was a fit. No, that was just to see if I was a fit to the team.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I like that you're confident, that you're determined, and hungry for this." So yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So your process is actually very typical. Let me basically illustrate for people. The first step is a screening interview with the recruiter. The recruiter, usually what they have is a list of screening questions. The recruiter, sometimes they don't even know what they're asking. They have the question and they have the answer. So they are just going through the questions, question, answer. And if you answer enough well, they let you go to the next portion, because recruiters in general, 90% of them are not technical. They just don't want to waste the team's time by sending people who cannot even go through the screening process. So that's what you did. You went through the screening process by answering these questions. And of course, the technical interview comes next. It's usually in panel format, meaning it's multiple people asking you question. I don't know if it was the case for you, Marudi. How
It
many people?
was. Yep.
How many people was asking you questions?
Uh, that first interview was just the manager and like senior engineer, so it was just two people. But
Yeah,
my last interview was actually three people.
yeah.
So
So it's
yeah.
usually a panel interview for multiple reasons. First, for it to be fair. They don't want one person's bias for or against you to rule. And second, they want to have different type of answers, different types of questions, because you're gonna notice that different interviewer are gonna ask different questions according to what's important to them. So it's a way to keep the interview process a little fair. And lastly, you had what they call I'm 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 guessing it's a culture fit type of interview to see if you would fit in the culture of the company, if you would be a good team player for that particular team. Is that what it is?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so that's a typical process for anyone who's uh who's who's asking. There's usually a screening, one or two technical interviews, depending on how well you do on the technical interview. They usually stop it at one. And then there is a more a behavioral culture fit type of interview with managers and HR. So that's really the process. Now
Yeah, this
we
last position I got, I actually had two technical interviews.
yeah, you did? Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're talking about
the
the
one I just
oh,
got promoted.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got two technical interviews with two different teams or same team?
Two different teams
Okay.
because I'm
Yeah.
going to be working with cloud operations and deployments.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like I said, like that's typical. And again, I'm almost certain neither of these interviews was one person interviewing you. It
No,
was
no, it
more
was
than one.
three each one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's for
Yeah.
fairness, it's for transparency. It's typical. The only interview you most likely gonna do one-on-one, which is a screening interview with the recruiter. That's just to
And
make sure.
and the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question in the chat for Alex. What are some peripheral tools you are learning as part of the internship process, internship phase? Ring. Be as detailed as you can. Talk to us.
All right. So, to answer that question, um, we are exposed to a ticketing system uh, that involve, different tasks that we have to solve. We not only have to document our steps, but also we have to be clocking in. So we are exposed to a different clocking in system as well, and a bunch of other open source tools that we get exposure to. What I mean is Ansible, Nagios, Foreman. These are different open source tools that we pretty much learn throughout the internship and have hands-on practice with. So hopefully that answers a bit of that question. But I don't want to spoil the surprise for that person. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a lot of really hands-on work, which is great. So as far as the peripheral tools, that's pretty much what we get exposure to in the apprenticeship phase.
Okay, Whitney. Let me explain what Alex mean when he says he doesn't want to spoil it for you. So if I start rattling off names of tools, it's not gonna do you any good. That's why at week 14, by the way, we just started that, Marudi and Alex, we have a workshop called What Happens After the certification. Because a lot of people are asking, they want to know more. But the thing is, telling them more without any context, it's gonna be gibberish. I'm gonna tell you Nagios, Jira, Ansible, and you're gonna say, okay, I heard a lot of tools, I heard a lot of words, but I cannot make much of it. So that's why I would need it wouldn't help much if I go too deep into the tools we expose you to if you don't have any contextual knowledge, if you haven't started digging deeper into the process. Hopefully that makes sense. If that makes sense, Woodney, let me know in the chat. Let me see. Okay. Pavidka asked a question. I can answer this one. typically, when will we start applying for jobs after apprenticeship? So it's a very synchronized process. You go through the tickets, and then as you go through the tickets, when you're halfway through, you start working with your career success coach. This is where you start putting together your resume. You start positioning yourself on LinkedIn, um, making sure that you are not only positioning yourself to start applying, but to start attracting jobs to you as well. We teach you that, and you start refining your resume. And then after that, you go through the mock interview process where we basically we believe in having you make the mistakes, the rookie mistakes with us first. That way we can give you honest, intentional, and feedback that comes from a good place. Because if you go into an interview, you crap your pants, you didn't do well, guess what they're going to tell you? Thank you. We'll give you a call. They will not give you constructive feedback, right? You're just going to sit and hope for a call. So that's what we do. We try to grill you, drill you, make sure you understand the pressure and what it is to actually go through an interview so you can have what it takes to perform at a real interview as much as we can, Pavitka. So after a mock interview, if you are ready, now you are moved into the job search process where we onboard you on our job search platform, and we support you with regular check-in. If you're not ready, we might advocate for you to have a fourth mock interview before you hit the job search process. So hopefully that answers your question. And guys, when I answer your questions, if the answer is satisfactory, let me know. Okay. Um, Another question. Is it possible to do the program in the internship while working your job? Let Alex answer.
All right, Carlos, it's definitely more than possible. So there's a schedule that you'll receive, and you'll also have maybe some homework assignments, but it's nothing too crazy. And not only that, but you develop your own routine. So if there's one thing I also learned about this program is there's a lot of people that join that have different situations in their lives. So it's
Life
not a
gets
one
in.
size. Yeah, exactly. Life gets in the way. Absolutely. So to answer your question, it is very possible. I still work a full-time job. I'm a high school teacher, so um, it's 8 to 5. I'm there, and
Yeah.
I still manage to uh, succeed in this program. So absolutely, it's possible.
Yeah. Don't forget, this program is designed and intended for working people with a life, with kids. Listen, if you go on our website and you look for a very particular interview, to me, it's very refreshing. This lady is a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, all under 8, all 4. She
Oh
didn't
man.
she didn't only do the program, but she actually ended up with a job. So it's to tell you, yes, it's definitely possible. You see, but we also know sometimes life gets in the way. This whole thing is about how much you let life get in the way, and how much you actually commit to the process. Like Courtney, our career success lead, usually say, you can do one of two things. You can either make this work or make excuses. You just can't do both. So yeah. Another question. I know Paloma got her Red Hat engineer certification when she was student zero. I like that. Of the whole program when it started. Why did you choose not to include it in the YT curriculum? Is there value in pursuing that certification? Why or why not? This is good and a question. And the first answer is because it would make the program too long, wouldn't it? But ideally, I would love for someone to have a RHCE or Red Hat Certified System Engineering certification before they hit the job market. It would shoot up their likelihood of getting a job and how fast they get a job by probably 10. But despite the fact that you asking that, trust me, most people don't want to put in all that commitment. That's one. So we have to build a program that people actually want to enroll in. That's one. Second, the good news is we are coming up with a track system, meaning when you go into the apprenticeship, you will be able to choose different tracks. Basically, uh, if you were going to college, it would be equivalent to a master's. So basically, the program is a bachelor's degree. You can decide to go to the tracks, the different tracks. And one of the tracks coming in January with me is the RHCE track. Now you could choose that track, and it's going to be included. Okay, so that's your answer. We put it a way where you can choose to pursue that track. We're gonna have Ansible, RHCE Ansible as a track. We're gonna have um, uh, DevOps, pure DevOps as a track, and we also gonna have what's the name of the tool? VMware, VMware administrator as a track as well. Because all these tracks, they require that you are a Linux admin that has a specialization, you see? So you're gonna have that as an option, which Marundi didn't have. And perhaps Alex will have if he chooses to come back and take advantage of it. So yeah. Should I wait till January to apply? Actually, I would suggest you do not. Let me tell you why, Whitney. Because of the track we're adding and because of the surprise I'm gonna show you at the end, tuition is going up in January. So, and also locking in your enrollment now will not keep you out of those tracks. So I wouldn't think it's a good idea to postpone your enrollment to January, Whitney. Let me see if we have any question. Guys, help me sift the chat as well. If you see any question, you can help answer.
Yeah, Olive asked about she's noticed a lot of tech layoffs lately this year. What percentage of alumni are getting jobs this year? What happens if they
So
aren't able to land a job after the program?
yeah, so indeed there is actually I wrote something. Who wrote that?
Olive Harris.
Olive Harris. Actually, I talked about that on LinkedIn last week. I encourage you to check out my LinkedIn profile. Yes, the job market has been terrible. In fact, I went to a conference last week, clearancejobs.com conference, and the CEO Art, his name is Art, the CEO of dice.com. And they track how many new jobs are added to the platform every year. So the lowest they've ever seen in terms of new job added was last December 2023. The lowest was 180,000 jobs. And we're talking about the whole tech space in general. And now we are, the last month, he was seeing around 250,000 jobs added, new jobs added a monthly. But it's still lower than the normal. The normal amount of new jobs added monthly is around 300,000, 200,000 and plus. So yes, there is a softening of the job market, but what happens is our students are either training or continuing their education or continuing their search while the market corrects, because the job market is just like the stock market or the housing market. It ebbs and flows. So you have to stay long enough when it ebbs. So when it starts flowing, you can actually get your job. It's not also only about the job market, it's how great of a candidate you make yourself to be in a noisy environment. So I cringe a little bit when people talk only about the job market without talking about what kind of commitment and what kind of candidate they plan on becoming for the job market. You see? So hopefully that answers your question, Olive. So yes, this year we have seen a softening in terms of job placement, but it's not something directly connected to yellowtail.tech. It's all jobs. If you're not a teacher like Alex, if you're not a nurse, or if you're not a firefighter, you probably are seeing the effects of the job market. Okay. Um,
Yeah, Juby, I wanted to add, just wanted to let everybody know, if you put in that effort, I've never seen anybody that has been determined enough and dedicated not get what they want, you know. So
yeah,
you put your effort in, you'll definitely get it.
yeah. Like I like to say, me, I live by that. And being an entrepreneur kind of trains you for that. I give things no choice but to work. If I go into something, it's gonna work or it's gonna work. You see what I mean? But that's me. But unfortunately, Murundi, unfortunately, most people, they will blame everything and everyone before they blame themselves for the results they don't get. It's natural. It's an ego thing. We all have it. Some of us have it more than the other, but we blame the job market, the training, yellowtail.tech, the LMS, the this, the that, the rain, the hurricane. We blame it all before blaming ourselves. Not blaming, before taking accountability. It's not about blame. It's about taking accountability for the results you want in your life. So, hey, this is how it is. But I do know, um, I do know it's possible for everyone who actually is committed to the process. We already are at the hour. So as promised, let me share my screen and show you something we're working on. That's pretty cool. Let me know if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, give me a one. Everybody give me a one in the. All right. This is called YT Genius. This is a AI companion that we're gonna launch in January. So basically, as you're going through the program, you're gonna have an AI companion to help you with your learning process. So if you are in IT infrastructure and networking, you can go there. If you are in Linux, you can go there. And it's mimicking and it's tracking the actual program at yellowtail.tech. So let's say you are in module 1 and you just learn about Linux and you come here to learn more, to understand more, and you say, what is Linux? It's going to start telling you exactly what Linux is. Basically, it's not a replacement. It's specifically what I said. It's a companion to your what we all already offer in terms of support, in terms of live support, uh, um, um, in terms of weekend support, and so on. So this is going to be a YT companion that's going to help you with quizzes, that's going to help you dig deeper when you don't understand something, when the questions you ask on the Slack channel are a little too slow. You can come here and start getting your question answered. And if you are in the cert prep, you can go to cert prep. If you are in Linux, in the Linux portion, you can go, and it's going to track specifically the module you in. So it's going to tell you, hey, you are in module 1. If you want to advance to module 2, you have to take the quiz. So it knows how well you're doing. From the quiz and from your result of the quiz, it's going to actually recommend you some learning. It's super cool. It's 90% done, and I'm excited to actually have people take advantage of this. So unfortunately, Marudi, Alex, it's gonna be after you've gone through the program, but I'm sure a lot of people are gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm a bit jealous. Didn't have access to this for sure, but it's great. This is great.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited. Even you see, they even we even have an apprenticeship part. So some of the knowledge base around the apprenticeship, you're gonna be able to access it directly here. Yeah. So that's the cool thing I wanted to showcase to you. That's coming in January. So if you are considering enrolling, it's best you enroll now. If you have any last questions, our team is gonna put a link for you to get in touch with our enrollment support team and see if it's a good fit for you. But let's do this. Let's do one a going away message from Alex and Marudi. So if you had one thing to tell people who are considering the program, what would you tell them? Let's start with Alex.
Well, there's a lot to say. A lot, definitely. One thing I would say is definitely don't hesitate and jump right in to this program. This program paves the way to break into tech. So I have no regrets joining this program personally, and I'm still confident about my future. So it's taught me a lot, not only about myself, but of course about tech. So I know it's a bit, it's like multiple things in one last statement, but still don't hesitate, do it. If you're considering it, thinking about it, not sure, I recommend just do it.
Okay, thank you, Alex. All right, last word for you, Marudi.
Yeah, just like Alex mentioned, I went ahead and I took that step. I didn't want to wait until I was ready because then you might take more time. So just jump in, get it done. And let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. you want to grow in LinkedIn, get your community built up or your connections so you can have more people to talk to and ask questions, move forward.
All right. So thank you guys. I was told to actually share the last screens by the marketing team. So go ahead and scan those screens, guys. If you want to actually consider enrolling, go ahead and um, take a picture of that screen. If you want to follow us on social media, scan this screen. And yeah, if you are ready for a change, let us know and let's see if it's a good fit. But otherwise, thank you, Alex, for giving us an hour on a Friday night, and Murudi as well. I'm sure you could be other places doing more interesting things than answering questions, but thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Also, thank you, Marudi. I posted my LinkedIn link in the chat, everybody. Feel free to connect, ask me questions. I'm willing to share some more. But thank you so much, Juby. It's an honor to talk to you again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great evening.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.